Well, Happy New Year's, everybody. I am JayLeonardJ, and today we're talking everything 2023, what I've been up to, as well as my top gear choices of the year. Well, welcome to a little bit of an annual tradition around here on the page. So at the end of the year, or I guess in this case, the beginning of the year, I talk about what I've been up to in that last 12 months, sharing with you a little bit of my musical journey, which I don't really do very often. So I really enjoy making these videos, kind of giving you a look at what I do outside of the little videos and stuff that I share with you. As well as it's great for me because when I get older and have trouble remembering stuff, I can kind of reflect back on these videos and remember this really wonderful era of my life. It's been such a joy doing what I do here on YouTube, and it's been really fulfilling. And life in music, it's just, what else could you ever want? And as per tradition, at the end of the video, I talk about my favorite gear, my gear picks of the year, the things that really inspired me. I'm so fortunate to be in a position where I get to try such wonderful, beautiful pieces of equipment and share with you my excitement for the ones that just really hit an interesting chord for me. So if you want to go to the gear stuff, you don't really care about what I've been up to this year, you can skip to it. There will be chapters in the description below, so you can do that. If you are interested in it, let's just dig into it, all right? So I'll try to be brief, but this year was actually really full of some really interesting and new stuff for me, kind of going outside of my comfort zones in a lot of ways. So the year started off with me going to Florida. So I went to the States for a 2-day shoot for Cort guitars. So Cort wanted to do a whole video series on their 2023 lineup. So all their electrics and acoustic guitars that they wanted to kind of showcase. And so me and another YouTuber named Sean Daniel, who is an incredible person. He actually very quickly became a really close friend and one of the most genuinely wonderful people you ever meet. We worked together, and what they had is, we were there. The shoot was 2 days, and we had to do I don't know how so many guitars, and it was the most beautiful, controlled, organized chaos you've ever seen. There was a nice crew, I think maybe about 3 or 4 cameras. They had, a person dealing with the technical specs and the fact checking and, the production team, and me and Sean in the front, kind of just, I guess, ringmasters to the absolute mayhem going out. So it was great. There's, the guitars kind of came late because of the shipping thing. So they're tuning guitars and giving them setups and giving it to us as quick as possible. We only had 2 days to film everything, and we filmed lots and lots of stuff. In fact, if you look at the Cort Instagram page or the Cort YouTube page, pretty much all the videos that you see me in, that they've been posting throughout this entire year, they were all filmed in those 2 days. And actually that led to another thing. So the team that put together these videos for Cort, so the team that was dealing with the Cort's marketing, they decided to open up a new YouTube page called No Fear Gear Reviews. And what it is it's kind of like this really interesting page, has rotating hosts and everything, and they talk about everything guitar. So they'll do shootouts of cheap pedals, they'll do lesson videos, they'll do all kinds of really interesting stuff. And I was really fortunate that they asked me to be part of the team. And so I joined. I had such a wonderful time working with them for the Cort stuff that obviously, oh man, being a host for this No Fear Gear thing, it's great. And if you haven't checked it out, I'll put a link. You got to. There's their editing team does a great job. It is hilarious stuff, and they've had some really, really cool stuff. So we did a video. My favorite video is one where I taught everyone how to use a talk box, which that's the most fun video I think I've ever filmed in my life. And we did ones on wah pedals where we got a band in and we're playing wah pedals with a band. We did some shootouts with OCDs and the new ODD by Worm and amp and pedal. It's really cool. Go to their page, check it out. It worked out really great. And it works just like the Cort stuff. I go there for 2 days. They film a bunch of stuff. They come up with all the different challenges and video concept video ideas. We shoot all of it, and then they release it while I'm gone. And then when they kind of need new content, they kind of fly me out and do it again. One of those trips was really crazy. I was there. We were supposed to be an easy 3-day. It was right near like labor, what Canada Day or what do you call it in the States? Independence Day was right around that time, and I was supposed to fly back. But what ended up happening is my flight got delayed by 3 days. So I was actually stranded in Florida for 3 days. But coming to my rescue was Sean Daniel. He opened up his home to me. I went to his beautiful, beautiful place in Sarasota. We made a couple videos together. We really had a chance to bond, and it was like the best thing to like be stranded for 3 days. I'm in his place. He actually had a big milestone birthday, so a bunch of his friends came in from out of town, and they had all these like, you know, big surprises and, you know, trips, and I just somehow found my way to, like, you know, backpack my way through it and be part of the festivities. It almost felt like it was my birthday. It was such a really wonderful experience. So all my love and all my thanks for him for opening up his home and saving me, because being at that hotel, you know, during, you know, Independence Day, where actually I was supposed to be in Vancouver camping with my family, which I missed the whole camping trip. You know, he kind of brought a little bit of joy out of what could have been a really, really down situation. So that was really, really cool. Oh, another thing that happened this year was Radial engineering. So I don't know if you know Radial engineering. They do like DI boxes and like a lot of pro audio stuff. A lot of like, you know, amp switchers and stuff like that. They're probably the most known for their DI boxes. They make like some of the best DI boxes ever. They approached me for a position to be their creative consultant. And by creative consultant, I guess what I do is I kind of help them with some of the marketing stuff and help them with their strategies and help them create some content for their page. And so I thought they're based not too far from where I am, so I kind of took up that role, and that's been a really fun job. I had to help produce a video for their offshoot company, which is called Prime Acoustic. And that's like sound boards and everything like that. We made this really cool video, like this Romeo and Juliet style video that I came up with, and we had one of the dudes film it, and it was a big crew. It was really cool to be part of that, and kind of storyboard and put all that kind of stuff together. It was a blast. And we've done some other projects. I did like a DI reamping video overview series, and we're currently working on a really cool video which will be released around NAMM, so keep your eyes open for that. Now there has been some like smaller things like Yamaha. You know, I did a little video for Yamaha talking a little bit about my life and a little bit of the way I approach music and how I dial in a helix, and that was posted this year. I'll put a link to that in the thing below. We had NAMM. I was doing some stuff with the Catlin Bread team as well as for Shure, which was really, really cool. We also, I like on my other time, I do a band called Trilogy, which is more of like I guess they're like a award show band or an events band, and we did lots of shows, played a bunch of award shows like the Leos this year, and we play at the Canucks game, the hockey team, and the lacrosse team actually at Rogers Arena, so we do shots for that, play a bunch of the summer festivals. There's a lot of shows that this band does. This is the last really cool piece of news for the year, and that was I went to Hong Kong right at the very, very end of the year, and it was just an event for Longines. It was they have the big horse races, and they brought me down. It was a crazy long flight, but I went down just for 15 minutes of music. Really, I did the opening where they had this like big drum set up, and then at the end I sang this like rock medley, and I had these beautiful girls just dancing around me. Made me feel like a big deal. It was awesome. That was a great, great thing. And the drummer on that, and the reason how I got in it was the drummer's name was Jun Kung. And Jun Kung, I guess if you're not familiar, is you know kind of a pop, I guess yeah, like a pop guy in Hong Kong. Really popular guy. Some really great songs. And I knew him from back when I used to tour with Sandy Lam in Hong Kong, and he actually was Sandy Lam's drummer, and he has a little bit of notoriety, and we became really, really, really close friends. And I even wrote some songs for his last album which was wonderful. I love collaborating with him. He's one of the coolest guys you'll ever meet. He plays every instrument, and he has a great musicality about him. A really great friend. And he was actually the guy that got me to Hong Kong because, it's been so long since we played together. He thought it'd be great. So we went down, we hung out, we started jamming. And we had such a great time jamming that we were like, you know what? We need to record an album together. So upcoming this year, we're going to be doing just that. It's going to be a nice, good old fun album. So keep your eyes out. That's what I'm going to be doing all February. We're going to be dedicating that to that. So I'll let you know more about that as it unfurls, because I think of anything in 2024, that might be the one that I'm most excited for. So definitely I'll tell you more about that to be soon. All right, so let's talk about the gear of the year. This year, I have 2 categories, and each category has 3 picks. So my first category is going to be called New to Me. And what new to me means, maybe these things have been out for maybe a couple years already, but I didn't know about it, and I didn't have one on the bench until 2023. So there might be slightly older piece of gear, but they definitely had a wonderful impact on me, at least enough for me to bring it up. So the really, really inspiring piece of equipment. And the second one is just a much more simple one, gear of the year. My 3 picks of stuff that came out this year. My number 1 pick might be a little bit on the gray level, might be kind of in between both, but it's been such a profound, had such a huge impact on how I approach music that I kind of had to give it the top spot there. But we'll get into that later. Let's first talk about the new to me category, my 3 picks, stuff that's been out for a little bit, but I recently discovered and thought it was brilliant. The first one being this. This is the Beetronics Royal Jelly. I believe this was released maybe 3 years ago or something like that. It's a dual pedal, but both sides have the same circuit. What it is a fuzz and an overdrive pedal. You have a little bit of a little knob here to choose how much of the fuzz and how much of the overdrive you want. The overdrive is a little nice and juicy but tight. Fuzz is a little bit crazy. And you have a 2-knob EQ. You even have a dry blend, and you can control how much gain you can get in there as well for the overdrive circuit. It's quite handy because the fact that you could blend between overdrive and fuzz, there's actually quite a wonderful gamut of it. So you could actually just save your 2 favorite presets and switch between the 2 because they're the same circuits. As also a little boost for the fuzz if you want to take your boost to the next level. This pedal is amazing. I love this pedal. It is, it encompasses a lot of things I love about fuzz, but it also gives you an opportunity to kind of tighten things up a little bit, give it a little bit more togetherness. I've been using this ever since this came in. I got this really cool pink version from the guys at Beetronics. Ever since this came in, I think typically if you hear a fuzz on the page this year, it's been this pedal. I usually talk about at least one fuzz every year, and because I love fuzzes so much. And yeah, if I'm always kind of trying to decide, especially since this thing came out, oh, what fuzz am I going to use in this video? It's typically been this. I really, really enjoy this pedal. I think it's a wonderful pick, and I don't really see it get talked about. Maybe it's because it's such a big pedal. It's such a huge footprint, but man, I really, really enjoy this. This is just an absolute blast. It is the Royal Jelly by Beetronics. Now, for my next pick in the new to me category is this. This one is a guitar that has a broken string. I just broke a string before I turned on the camera. This is my custom shop Fender Jazzmaster. It is a what do you call it? I think it's a 2022 or something like that. I'm not quite sure what year it is. It's a couple years old, but it found its way onto the bench. It's in this faded Fiesta red, which some people affectionately call my eraser guitar because it looks like the eraser on a lead pencil. I got into Jazzmasters this year. I did a video on Jazzmasters, if you haven't seen it, where I played Jazzmasters exclusively pretty much for my live shows, at least my Trilogy live shows, just to kind of get to learn the guitar. And this guitar is kind of the result of all the experimentation and stuff I've been doing with the guitar. I've been playing so much Jazzmaster that I had to bring this up because I think I played this guitar live more than any guitar. I still play the blue Telly the most for the YouTube videos, but live, this has really been the star of the show. So I don't think I could have made this video without mentioning this guitar. There's some really interesting things. It has that Fender custom shop bridge, which I think is really beautiful. It's machine wonderful, has great sustain, great balance, and I like the fact that it rocks. I like the rocking bridge as opposed to like something like a Mastery, which is more steady and doesn't move. This one rocks, and I don't know, I think it kind of works really well, especially with the tuning and everything like that. There are some mods I did to this guitar. I think the pickups I have right now are Jason Lawler pickups, which was a recommendation from my buddy Mike Adams, Pushin, who's like the Jazzmaster YouTuber. And also a wonderful person. He recommended these and he picked right. This one does have 250K pots here, and then my rhythm circuit is 1 meg. So I have like classic Jazzmaster here, and this is just the neck pickup. So it almost like, it's like, instead of it being a mud switch, it is a bright switch for the neck pickup. Really, really cool. I don't even use locking tuners with this thing, and it stays in tune really, really well. If you haven't played a Jazzmaster, I highly recommend you try it. And my number 1 pick for new to me this year is this thing over here. And I think you've probably seen me use this on my page everywhere. It's this. It is the Grez Mendocino baritone guitar. I actually found this on the very last day of NAMM. So it was the last day of NAMM. I was walking by, and Barry came up to me and he introduced himself to me. And I never heard of his guitars, never heard of anything about his company. I think maybe I heard a little bit from Blake down at the Tone Mob, but you know, it was kind of not really in my periphery. He put this in my hands, and it was the most vibrant, alive thing I've ever played. It's my first time really digging into the world of baritones, and I just love the feel of them, the brilliance of it. This is made out of reclaimed redwood cedar. It's incredibly light. It's chambered. It has this long scale neck, and when you play it, like, this is not even plugged in. It is so alive, and it's just full of character. It has these gold foil pickups that just works beautifully with this guitar. It's probably the most addictive guitar. When I'm in the studio and I just want to grab something, this is what I grab. I don't know why. It's so rich and full and satisfying. It sounds great. The balance is wonderful. It's a unique sound, and it's absolutely addictive. You gotta check this out. This is the Grez Mendocino baritone. It's a wonderful and very, very special guitar. So I highly recommend you try that out. So now that we've talked about that, let's go talk about the Gear of the Year stuff from 2023. So I have 3 choices here. Number 1 is this over here. This is the Meridian by Spaceman pedals. This is a really interesting pedal. It's a modulation pedal, and it's a really versatile and quirky, easy to dial in, and absolutely fun modulation pedal. You have your LFO, you have your width, and you have a rate, so you can kind of create wobbly stuff. You could even create your time offset, your regeneration, which is your feedback. You have different waveforms and a level knob. And between this really nice collection of 6 knobs, you're able to get double tracking. You can get chorus, you can get flanger, you can get, what else can you get? You can get a lot of things out of this thing. Yeah, you could get vibrato, and you can get modulations that kind of skirt the corners of each genre, like where flanger becomes chorus. You could come up with a sound right in between there. They even have this random kind of like sounding waveform, which is just absolutely quirky and crazy. You can create like, the pitch vibrato with just a little bit of chorusing. It's such a simple, straightforward pedal and a really simple, straightforward box that creates lots and lots of tones. If you could only have one modulation pedal on your board and you have limited space, this is what I would go for, because you can do so much with it once you understand how it kind of works. I made a video on the difference between like chorus and vibrato and double tracking, all that stuff, where I kind of use this pedal to demonstrate how you can get all those different sounds and how they sound different. I recommend you watching that video to really appreciate how deep this can go. And as in that video, it's just the basics. You can get so much deeper, find so many inner shades, and it's simple. It's not crazy. It's not, you know, it's not overly packed with knobs. It's just the right amount of knobs, and the knobs have just the right amount of width that everything is always quite musical and always very, very pleasing. I really, really enjoy this pedal, but highly recommend it. This is the Meridian time modulation by Spaceman. I love this pedal. Absolutely beautiful. And the LED changes with the LFO. Beautiful stuff. My second choice is this over here. This is the Modern Eagle 5 by PRS. Probably, in my opinion, the prettiest guitar I have in my collection. Like, look at this. It has like this yellow tiger striping here, and the hybrid gold and silver hardware looking stuff, or gold nickel kind of hardware. And oh my gosh, it's just premium all over the place. Now, the Modern Eagle 5 was only available as like very, very limited edition off menu kind of stuff. And it had a switch, 500 and a 250K switch for the pots. This is the first year they put it in the core lineup, and the moment they announced it was the moment I was on the phone. And I'm really glad the team at PRS was able to get one over here. And God, like, look at this thing. What it really is, in my opinion, at its core, is it's a Paul's guitar. It has the same kind of pickups, only it has a little wang bar on it as well as a middle pickup. It has a ridiculous amount of switching between the coil splitty things over here, the in-between 5-way switch, and this push-pull pot. You can get any combination you want, and all of them sound really, really fantastic. Do not expect strat tones. The in-between positions aren't really stratty. They have a zing to it. They have a little bit of zip. And they do that cluck, and they will fill the same role, but it is its own instrument. It is really interesting. I would say hi-fi would be the sound. The Paul pickups, in general, these smaller pickups have a much more focused sound to them, a little bit nice clarity to them, and then you have it with this. It's a very hi-fi, very clear sounding guitar. You could really work that tone knob and get lots of wonderful variations on it. I love the way this guitar sounds, and it's just outstanding stuff. I don't know how much nice stuff I can say about this without repeating myself, because I have talked about this as nauseum, and I've played this quite a bit. I even used this for the Hong Kong thing. It's an absolute stellar guitar. This is premium goodness and about as good as it gets. This is the PRS Modern Eagle 5. And that leads me to my last piece of equipment this year. And this one, it's a mixture of old and new. By new, I mean there's like one little new thing in it. But this is probably the most influential piece of equipment that's come into the room here. And I think it's going to be no surprise to you. But it's this over here. This is my Jam Pedals custom multi-board. So Jam Pedals is a company from Greece that has an outstanding lineup of guitar pedals. A lot of classic sounds, and they do them very, very well. And the build quality for Jam Pedals has always been the absolute top-notch of the top-notch. It doesn't really get much better when you're looking for those classic sounds. And what they did is they built me, and this is actually something you can order too, they built me a custom pedal board to my specifications. So I actually told them what pedals I wanted in it. There's only two pedals that are not Jam pedals, the tuner here, and then I think we have a, I think it's a Mad Professor reverb as well, but everything else is a Jam pedals, and it is a very crazy, I think I have about 12 different effects here, and a lot of custom options. Like there's an effects loop here, there's tons of buffers around if I want to play with the effects loop, and there's buffers in the front and back of each section here, and I have 3 delay pedals. 2 of them have a shared tap tempo, and they're wired in parallel, so I can get like really neat like multi-tap kind of sounds. And that's something they had to make up just for me. In terms of the color of it and the way it looks, that is also completely custom. I gave them free reign. They have a team of artists, and they could pretty much do whatever you want. I just told them to make something super bright and crazy and something that kind of reflected my personality, and this is what they came up with. I did a 3-part series on this pedal, so you definitely should check it out. And if you're curious about ordering your own multi-board, this one, if you want to get an idea of the pricing, they told me that this thing would go for $2,900 US, which would be about, I don't know, $250 a pedal. So actually it's, you know, if you know what you want and you know the order you want it in, and you want something that's super lightweight and like durable to take on the road with you, like I don't see, like, you know, you're paying $250 a pedal. It's custom painted. It's hand wired. It's custom made to your specifications, completely bespoke. I think you'd be crazy. Now, yes, a lot of these. The only thing that's from 2023 in terms of the pedals here is the boost pedal. This is the new Boomster, which came out in 2023. But this is a new build, so I kind of put this in the gear of the year thing. But I highly recommend, if you're going on the road and you need something bulletproof, I think the wait for these things is just a couple months. You want something bulletproof and you don't have to worry about, you know, powering and all that stuff. This is quiet. I would definitely check it out. And so that is, in a nutshell, my gear of the year. Oh my gosh, what a fantastic year this has been. Before I go, I want to thank a lot of you, all the people that watch the page regularly. It is wonderful to watch this page grow. We're not a big page by any stretch, but you know, that's not what it's about. It's just about, you know, sharing nice sounds and helping all of you that are trying to, maybe considering getting something and you kind of want to know how it sounds, or maybe you have something and you want to figure out how to get the most out of it. That's what this page is all about. And just the fact that you watch the videos, even if it's something you're not interested in getting, it really is, it's profoundly wonderful. Especially, and the people that subscribe on Patreon, the people that actually put their money down and try to, you know, it's because of you that, you know, these videos, they look good, you know. It helps me get the lighting that we use here and the new camera that we got this year, and all the little things that we do. It's because of your support and your graciousness, and it really, again, profoundly touching for the people out there on Patreon. And lastly, I want to thank, just, you know, all the companies that you know, have contributed to the page. There's a lot of wonderful companies, a lot of wonderful people that have been very, very supportive of the page, all the different brands that have built wonderful relationships with me. I had a wonderful year, and I'm so excited to move forward and continue this wonderful journey of music. I guess that being said, that's all I have to say. I wish you all a fantastic New Year's, full of just good gear and good tones and good community. So stay safe, everyone. Have yourself a wonderful year, and I guess I'll see you soon. Take care, and goodbye.